Welcome to Tuesday, February 17th, 2026. If you or a loved one has suffered a tragic crash, get with the firm with the most board-certified in trucking accident law attorneys, nationally renowned and located in Wyoming, Colorado, and Montana. Call Grant Lawson and the law firm for truck safety. Well, Wave 1 is arriving. The California trough is going to send waves through the weekend, and as we have identified, we've got 3 of them. First one's coming through today. Mountain snows, very windy across the low elevations, and we have extremely high fire danger with downsloping Chinook winds on the plains. Wave 2 is actually going to bring some of you accumulating snowfall in areas where you haven't seen it in a long time. We'll show you where those places will be. It is going to be much colder. From tomorrow afternoon in particular through Saturday, it will be a 3-day period of the coldest temperatures we've had since, if you remember that Arctic wave, they came in during that Bronco playoff game. So it'll be colder, much colder during that 3-day period. Now there's a break in the waves basically between Sunday and Tuesday. Not much going on. However, another California trough is going to come into the West Coast by the middle of next week, sending more waves towards the Intermountain West towards Wednesday and Thursday of next week. A lot of color in the skies over the last 24 hours as the Pacific moisture arrives first at the highest levels. So lots of lenticular clouds, layered clouds coming on in, whether it's in South Dakota, Arizona, where you can see deeper moisture closer to the Pacific there, that moisture coming on in. And another shot up near the Black Hills country of Wyoming and South Dakota. Here's a neat shot. Cody flying in, piloting the aircraft at 16,000 feet, heading into Lake Havasu City. Some cool conditions there. And another good shot out of Arizona with the color. More color in Colorado Springs as well. The satellite imagery this morning, pretty busy. You can see very well wave number 1. Wave number 1 coming through very quickly. This system is racing. I mean moving very, very quickly. It'll slow down a bit as it gets up into here tonight and into tomorrow. The cold air, as evidenced by the clouds, these are clouds that form over the cold air that's aloft over the Pacific waters. So this is the next low approaching the coast, kicking out the low out ahead of it. And so what we're going to see, and you can see it very well on the water vapor, is a very active day today in the Pacific Northwest, with the radar early this morning looking like this, in the southwestern United States looking like this. You can see a hodgepodge of a lot of different winter weather conditions and advisories for high fire danger. The high fire danger here is in the pink and really in the brown areas. The brown areas represent a high wind warning. So we got high wind warnings from Texas to Montana. So the I-25 corridor along I-40, along I-70, along I-80 and I-25, tons and tons of wind. All the blue and pink are for winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories. Winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings all the way back up here from northeastern Montana to Michigan. This red area is a blizzard warning for later today, tonight, and Wednesday. So there's a lot going on. Wave number 1 by 11 a.m. today will be right along the Continental Divide in Colorado and Wyoming. It's going to head up here and intensify and become a bit more of a weather maker later today and tonight. Here's the next wave coming in behind it. Wind is certainly going to be a factor today. It was overnight along the front back here, very windy. As the day goes on, these stronger winds will come along and will hit the eastern plains. So you may not have had a lot of wind overnight here, but you're going to feel it here soon. So wave number 1's precipitation looks like this. You can see the heavier snowfall that's going to be up here across the northern plains and up into south central Canada. And then you can see there's a strong downsloping component east of the mountains. So you're not going to get any precipitation of consequence with wave number 1 east of the divide, but you will west of the divide. Look at the Sierras. Wow, getting more. Then this is what the snowfall looks like between today and tomorrow morning. Then we go to wave number 2. Here it is. Wave number 1 consolidates up here. That's why you've got all the warnings for winter weather in the far northern areas. Wave number 3 is coming in behind it. So you can see how they just kind of kick each other out as they cycle through the base of the trough. So that next wave, wave number 2, by 11 a.m. Thursday, is taking a track further south. What you're going to notice is each wave will come in a little bit further south than the one ahead of it. So with this one a little bit further south, and this one being a little bit slower, it's going to be a bit more impactful, especially right here, as you'll see here in a minute, with an opportunity for snow because Canadian air is in the mix. This first wave is really mostly Pacific. The second wave has got a Canadian connection. So the second wave's precipitation looks like this, and there's going to be a band of snow, moderate snow right here, could be heavy in some areas. This is an area where it is really going to feel like and look like winter. And I know it hasn't in a while, and you may be skeptical, but it's certainly looking that way because we got Canadian air coming into the mix. And you're going to see a strong downsloping component along the Front Range of Colorado with wave number 2 again. So it's going to be mountains and west of the divide. But up here, where the low is going to be, north of the low, there is going to be some weather. And temperatures, look at these temperatures. Haven't seen temperatures like this since going back to that January Arctic wave that came in during the football playoff in Denver. So as we get into Wednesday afternoon, Thursday, and Friday, it is going to be a lot colder across the west. Some overnight lows dropping down to the single digits and lower teens. And this is what the snowfall looks like with wave number 2. West of the divide, the mountains do good. The plains of Canada, the Dakotas, Nebraska, central and east central Wyoming. Your first taste of snow in quite a while. Wave number 3, as you notice, comes into Salt Lake and into Colorado, tracking further south. Wave number 3 is not as moist. It's cold, but it's not as moist. And it is tracking a little bit more to the south. So this is going to be an I-70 system. Small and compact, but going right down I-70, and there you can see it. Going right down I-70. So the western slope of Colorado, along and south of I-70, the mountains of Colorado there, and then even a little bit of snow on the plains of eastern Colorado and western Kansas with wave number 3, and that's what snowfall looks like with wave 3. You add all waves up between now and Sunday morning, looks like this. Very impressive totals, especially mountains west of the divide, and you're going to get some snow finally out into the plains of Canada and parts of the northern plains. Of course, we have some snow holes in these areas right here. You're always going to get that when you have downsloping components, but there's going to be little fingers of snow finally getting out into the plains. Is that the start of something? Does that mean they're finally going to get over the hump and start to see lower elevation snows? Well, for some of you, yes. Then we look ahead. So from Sunday, Monday into Tuesday and part of Wednesday of next week, we're going to see all the lows consolidate into a low up here. Could have a nor'easter. High pressure, though, comes in for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday for moderation in temperatures before the next set of waves comes in. Notice the high is still here. So we're going to continue to have these waves. So this wave here will kick out this wave inland into the Great Basin by Wednesday of next week, and there you can see it. And this system is going to be a moist one. So we'll just have to see what it does. Is it going to be more of a weather maker or just another quick moving wave? We'll just have to wait and see. But as long as we have this deep trough here in the Gulf of Alaska, it is going to spin off more lows to come into western North America late February into early March. Have yourself a good day. Don't forget our regional travel forecast. You're going to want to use it here in the days ahead because there are regional travel problems coming up between now and through Saturday. Have yourself a good Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow.